Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Friday. Yay, Friday. Profit-taking Friday, so I don't know if anyone wants to hold too much over the weekend under the current conditions, but good day to take some money off the table. Write yourself a check. If you've got money to write yourself a check. Okay, so wake up in the morning and the futures are kind of ho humbug, and then all of a sudden, poof, futures pop up just on a few words, basically just on a few words, I guess. Pre-market, you can see here we're floating around on the SPY about 429.32. I still do not believe that the market will be in good shape until we get through this 440.60 up there, and this would be the tradable bottom. What we want to look for is a trend. Right now our trend is still down. We do have that bullish piercing candle that's still quite active. We did come back and test these lows down here. We do have a nice little hammer in here. We do have a low, a high, and a double bottom. Kind of hard to, yeah, we'll just see that. And it looks like we're making a new high here. So we may be trying to get up here. We're going to have to wait and see, but this is what I would call the tradable bottom, because once we have this low, this high, this higher low, or double bottom here, and then break out, then what we have is a trend, a low, a high, a higher low, and then that breakout right there, that can start the trend. We can do this like that, and then if this comes back, that's where it needs to hold, and we can look for buying right here. If we come over here and look at this chart, this really shows what the trend is doing without price. Sometimes price will make us, it does, and price will, you know, a nice bullish candle, it's almost like you can't help it. It just makes you go into a position. And if you take the price out of the picture and you just look at the trend, and if you believe in the trend, of course you've got to believe in it. If you don't, then none of this is interest to any of interest of you. But if you do follow the trend, you can clearly see that we're still in a downtrend. The yellow line is the 3 EMA. The white line is the T line, or the 8 EMA, and the red dots is the Trendicator. Ultimately, what we want is something that looks like this over here. We want the 3 to be above the T line above the trend line. When that is set up, now we can find charts where the market is at least trending. And more times than not, we want charts that we're buying looking like this as well. So if we come, let's just stay over here, I guess. You know, the biggest thing today is this going to prove itself? Is it actually going to hold up? And that's what we need to look at. We can go look at the diamonds, and it's going to be the same scenario. We're still in a downtrend. We need this to hold up. You see the low, the high, the higher low. Qs, same thing on the Qs. We're still in that downtrend. That downtrend needs to be broken. IWM, I think, fared the best yesterday as far as price action and what it did and how it held up. I think it fared the best. So we've got a low, a high, a higher low. Then yesterday we finished up with a nice little bullish candle here, holding above the T line and turned the Trendicator green. So here this morning, you can see that we've popped up pre-market here almost to the 50-period moving average, and that's the blue dotted line here. Actually, get rid of all that. There we go. Ultimately, what we need to see is to break out here. We can put a line across these tops about, well, yeah, we better put it right here. If we can break out of this 206.50 area on IWM. That would be a smooth move. That would be cool. Now, when I say breakout, I mean a breakout and hold. A simple move like this and then drops back down and we have a wick up there. That to me is not a breakout. That is just a scout going out there and the scout died. So what we need is a true breakout and hold. That would give us the clues that maybe the bulls are starting to get a little interested here. All right, let's take a look at some charts. There's 13 on here, and there's no way I'm going to get through all 13. To get all 13, you can go to the website and check out the Hit and Run Candlesticks blog. In the blog, there is the full 13 there. And while you're there, don't forget the Right Way Options blog is also available. It's right there on the home page if you want to take a read on there. Good morning, Julie, Gavin, Gregor, Joe, Dan, Chuck, Alan. How you guys doing? Mark, Joan, Bob, Stefan. Those are the only names I can see. So let's look at QS. So what I'm looking for in QS after this bottom has been formed here. We're starting to move up a little bit. Truthfully, I'm not interested in buying QS in here. What I'm really interested in is above the 50 period moving average. And that would take out these tops as well. And that would set us up for a rounded bottom breakout strategy. That's what we would look for about 32% maybe is what we would have in there. As far as an entry goes, we'll look for that, that 3/8 trap, that pullback to the T line or to the Trendicator, something like that in here. So this is what it might look like, and I'm just going to get real bullish real fast. So just, okay, let's get up in here. Could be tomorrow, could be 10 days from now. So breakout, and then we're going to look for that pullback, or we could say that sideways move right there. Watch for the green sparks in there, and that's what might get us in on QS. And then the 200 period moving average is up here. That's what I'm looking at right there for about 32% or so. Excuse me, voice already starting to go. I do apologize. Still fighting a cold. iTub this morning was popping up here a little bit. I do like the chart overall. Let's see here. Here we've got a nice cup, and we have a handle working right here. So what I'm going to be looking for is a breakout. Oops, that's not really what I wanted. There we go. What I'm going to be looking for is a breakout here, and then on that breakout, we'll look for that entry. Again, that entry will be typically what I look for is something like a 3/8 trap, a pullback close to the T line, or a pullback close to the Trendicator with a bullish signal on it, or bullish candle. So assuming we pop up, what I'm going to look for is that pullback, and then look for those green sparks starting to fly here, and that's what I'll do. So certainly be traded in here, but being Friday and all, the conditions around the world, how they may be, is probably not the best to hold too much over the weekend. So anything bought today just might be a day trade for me. Pretty light. Certainly don't want to be involved with too much over the weekend. CHPT, this is a beautiful looking chart here. This is a rounded bottom strategy. Here we've got this double bottom setup down here. You can see we've rallied up over the 50 period moving average, headed for that 200 period moving average. We're a little far from the T line in the 17, so the only way I could maybe consider this is right in this area here, about 1655 or so as a stop, it would have to stay above that level. You know, it doesn't have to break out today, but it would have to stay above that level today, Monday, and so on until, you know, those moving averages start to catch up, and then those will help me with a little bit of a stop area. But right now, I'd be looking at 1655, something like that, maybe. AVGO also setting up, or Broadcom. What I'm looking for is follow through over the 50 period moving average. You can see that we've got this kind of a little rounded top up here and a little rounded top. So, you know, a lot of times in trading, it's just a matter of what makes sense. You know, it's just common sense is all it is. It's simply that easy. But we get pressure from ourselves, you know, fear of missing out, hurry, rush in. We don't want to miss anything. When I'm looking at a stock like Broadcom, I'm looking at Broadcom to go back up to these tops up here. And the reality is I don't have to be here to make money. I could be trading up above 610 to make money. I mean, seriously, is this enough money for somebody? Anybody that says no, you're probably not going to make it in trading because you're just too damn greedy. It's just simple as that. So, all right here, let it do what it wants. Let it prove that the bulls are in there and can break us out. And if that happens, then that puts a higher probability in coming back up and challenging the top of 679 for about 11%. Macy's is another one I'm watching. Doesn't look great today. It really doesn't. Macy's is one that's going to have to, let's use a straight line. Macy's is one that's going to have to break out here. Ultimately, I think I would want it above 27. I'm going to look at a few bodies in here. I don't much care about the very tippy top highs. But with a solid chart pattern over the 50 period moving average, that could get me in early before that breakout. And then somewhere around that 50 period moving average, I would use a stop. But we're going to have to see what the chart does as it moves up there. CRISP, CRSP, if we close over the 50 period moving average today, that will be a rounded bottom breakout strategy. And that is a whopping 55% up to the 200 period moving average. So there's a ton of trading that can go on in here. So we'll look for that buy signal, wait patiently. It'll probably pull back up, just like that. Unless there's some big failure up there. So we've got a big bullish engulf. Let's draw this out. Big old bullish engulf here to a high, to a higher low. And here we've broken out to a higher high. So what happens is it makes about right here as the tradable bottom rather than right there. To me, this is not a tradable bottom. To me, this is not a tradable bottom. To me, this is a tradable bottom. So because we're approaching the rounded bottom breakout setup, rather than right in here, I would rather that RBB setup actually confirm. And then we'll look at that. This can still be your stop area. But as the rounded bottom breakout is created, I'll probably raise the stop up a little bit now, and that may be where I had it before, 62.40 up there. So BBD. Here we've got, let me draw on this, the 200 period moving average that failed, the 200 period moving average that failed. Here we've got the 50 period moving average still trending up. So if we were to take the 200 period moving average here and just draw that down, and follow the 50 period moving average up. You can see the nice little wedge that it's made. You can see the downtrend here that we broke out of. This puts it in bullish mode. So with a test of the 200 once, twice, 3 times, many times is the charm. So I'm going to watch for that breakout, and then on a breakout, that's where that may be a buy up there. Crowd source. We're in that rounded bottom breakout territory right now. I know a lot of people are looking at crowd here, and this might be a nice little buy setup right now, right in this area here. You just want to make sure that stop is in there. Anything below the 50 period moving average, I would not want it, because that would put it back in this kind of a scenario. I don't want that. I want to stay above the 50 period moving average. So we'll look at that. Well, crowd might be one of those that possibly I could hold over the weekend, just because of what they do, and there's probably a lot of demand for that right now, the security side of things. CAR, we've got a couple minutes here. CAR is set up low, high, higher, low. We're broken out here. This is coming off the 200 period moving average down here, and CAR maybe leaning toward the bullish side. Maybe it can get up here toward $300, and that puts you in a 46% profit range there. So okay, we're going to have to cut it off in lieu of time on this. For the rest, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 more if you run over there to the website and check that Hit Run Candlestick blog. You'll see the whole list. Just scroll down after the blog. You'll see down below. And while you're there, don't forget, check out the Right Way Options blog as well. Okay. Hey everyone, thanks very much. I'll be back here just a minute or two before the market opens up, and we'll see everybody. Okay. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.